Too late Friday night.
We have a chicken house that has collapsed. Several people are trapped inside.
That was on Midway Road in Leake County. That call came in about 11:40 Friday night. Just a few minutes later,
everyone was able to get out of the chicken house.
The cause of the collapse was not immediately clear from deputies. If you're still dealing with damage from the winter storm, MEMA and FEMA are opening 6 disaster recovery centers for you to apply for money that might be available. The nearest one will be in Yazoo County. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The only thing hotter than Mississippi in the summer is a Mississippi summer when the power goes out. This summer, be ready. Call Cowden Electric. They can install a permanent standby generator that automatically kicks on the second the power fails and keeps your whole house running. Hey, you already got a portable generator? Call Cowden Electric and let them set it up so you can safely plug it into your breaker box and power just the essentials. Don't wait for the next outage. Call Cowden Electric today or visit CowdenElectric.com and stay powered up when the grid goes down. CowdenElectric.com.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repaired? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
If it feels like the world's gone a little crazy lately, you're not wrong. They say parents should have a voice. But what happens when no one's listening? Forget the noise, the narratives, and the nonsense. It's time to have real conversations, stand up, speak out, and shine a light on what's really happening inside our schools, our systems, and our government, and what it really means for your family. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show, where we believe in truth over talking points, facts over feelings, and the courage to say what others won't. Because when it comes to our kids, silence is not an option. Only in America, dreaming.
Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, right here in the heart of Flora, the Cotton Exchange Plaza. I don't even know where to start today. So much has happened since I left here Friday afternoon. Oh, the political violence, the third, I guess you would say, assassination attempt on our president's life, the redistricting maps, the Supreme Court ruling in Texas this morning. What does that mean for states like Florida and Mississippi who have already decided to call special sessions and talk about how they will redraw their maps? Lots and lots to get to today. But we are live here. Of course, this is the Lindsey Beckham Show, and I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. As always, you can find us on your FM radio dial, 103.9, and you can stream the audio version of every show here on WIAB at WIAB.com. You can also call into the show if you would like to discuss these topics. Leave your thoughts, your opinions, share what you feel about these issues. 601-879-0002 is the number to call into the show. 601-879-4648 is our text line. I saw as I was pulling up that we have, I guess, officially heard from Melania Trump. She posted a few hours ago about Jimmy Kimmel's comments that he made leading up to Saturday night's events. And she said this: Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. A coward, Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep running cover to protect him. Enough is enough. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community? And I agree. I think that we are at the point now where, again, after the third assassination attempt on our sitting president's life, we are at the point that we can't make jokes. We can't joke around about Melania Trump being a future widow. As a widow myself, I find that disgusting. Not only is it just disgusting and atrocious behavior, like First Lady Melania Trump said in her tweet or her X post from a few hours ago, but there are enough sociopathic whack jobs out there that when we continue to make these types of jokes, or we continue to fund organizations like the Southern Poverty Law Center that I talked a lot about last week, and actually I'm going to have Shad White on the show Friday, and he is going to help break down exactly what he knows as far as the Southern Poverty Law Center is concerned. But when we continue to fund organizations that promote hate, putting targets on the back of political figures, conservative media voices, conservative figures, conservative politics in general, we are adding to the political violence, and it needs to stop. It absolutely needs to stop. Now, I've seen lots of theories, lots of comments about this event Saturday night being staged. This was a ploy. Donald Trump wants everybody on his team so that he can build this grand ballroom that he's been talking about. Look, y'all know me. If you've listened to the show long enough, you know me, or you should know me well enough to know that I will call Donald Trump out when I don't agree with him, when I think he's out of line, when I think he's wrong. I am not afraid to say it. But I have been in a hotel with Donald Trump, both in Washington, D.C. and in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I have been to the White House since Donald Trump has taken office for the second time. I know what that security is like at both places. I believe both times in both hotels, both in DC and in Philadelphia, the entire floor of that hotel was shut down. Secret Service was obviously there. A lot of us that actually were in a room to meet Donald Trump had to be cleared weeks prior to the event. Security was tight. They were strict. Those Secret Service agents were not playing one little bit. But it was nothing like the layers of security I had to walk through in order to step foot inside the White House. That was another level. At least 3 different stopping points with multiple Secret Service agents, metal detectors, the whole 9 yards. You cannot get anywhere near a door of the White House without going through multiple checkpoints. They have to know exactly who you are. They have to know your background. They have to know everything about you, and they have to be certain that you are who you say you are in order to get near that place. You just cannot control an environment in that way inside of a hotel. I don't think it's possible. And so, after already having multiple attempts to assassinate this particular person, I don't know that it was the smartest decision to hold an event, especially an event with not only the president, but the vice president and so many members of his cabinet, the press secretary. It seems like everyone was there with their spouses. I feel as though maybe that event should have been held in a more secure location, such as the White House, where they could keep these people more confined, because we saw what happened. And I have heard, of course, you hear a whole lot of things after something like this takes place, but we've heard it was not difficult to get past security. That shocks me after the amount and layers of security I've been through anytime I've been near the president in the last few years. But we've heard multiple firsthand accounts that you could just show a piece of paper and glide right on through. And when you have comedians, if you want to call them that, such as Jimmy Kimmel, when you have organizations such as the Southern Poverty Law Center, who have made it their mission to target conservatives, then you've got to find a way to make sure an event like this is 1,000,000% locked down, and only the people who are supposed to be there are actually the ones able to get through. I mean, this could have been incredibly tragic. Incredibly tragic. And I don't just fear for the life of our president should something like this actually come to fruition. I fear for the lives of all Americans, because I believe if something like this is to happen, there will be mass chaos in the streets. There will be political unrest. It will get ugly very quickly. And all it takes is a lone wolf who's mentally ill to buy in to the narrative that these people are evil. So it's a good thing if I take them out. Of course, this particular assassin, we now know he is a teacher in California, Teacher of the Year award, by the way. Y'all know how I feel about these extremist teachers out there. And don't for one second, don't think we don't have them right here in Mississippi, because we absolutely do. That is not an attack on all teachers across the state. There's certainly quite a few of them, more than I would like. It is just a very sad day in America when events like the correspondence dinner that was planned for Saturday night, that have taken place year after year after year, can no longer happen because we have crazed extremist lunatics out there who have bought into the storyline, to the narrative that they would be a hero if they off the president. Look, I don't care if our sitting president is a conservative, a liberal, a Democrat, a Republican, libertarian. I don't care. They should never have to be afraid that a gunman can get through security checkpoints into a room where they have a chance, a shot at taking out the president of the greatest country there's ever been. It makes me very sad. It should make every single American very sad. So much hate. So much hate out there in the world today. I don't know how we change it. I know the start is stopping the organizations and the people who continually put targets on the backs of political parties. That's a start. But this country needs God. We need Jesus. And that's the only way that we are ever going to stop this crazy nonsense that we have been seeing, this political violence that just seems to rear its ugly head time and time and time and time again. No longer are you allowed to sit behind a microphone on a radio show and give your views and opinions because your kid's teacher may not agree with them. And they may try to make your life a living hell from here on out. Life shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. Our founding fathers would be disgusted by that. We got to take a break. Y'all stay with us. Lots more to get to here on the Lindsey Beckham Show today. We are live, WIB 1039, and we will be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 1039 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have time to keep growing and to keep up with payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now, 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
Your pool should be something you enjoy, not something you fight with. Hi, I'm Darren with Elite Pools. At Elite Pools, we do more than just service. We take care of everything your pool needs, from your routine maintenance to your full repairs, upgrades, and even complete transformations. If your pool needs a little attention or a fresh start, then Elite Pools can bring it back to life. Visit Elite Pools online at elitepoolsms.com. That's elitepoolsms.com. Or give us a call. At Elite Pools, we keep you swimming.
Hi, folks. Kim Wade here. Mississippi Energy Services provides generators. That's right. You may not need it now, but when you need backup power, you need a backup power generator from Mississippi Energy Services. Never again have to worry about being without heat, air conditioning, or all your frozen items spoiling because your energy was lost. You got backup power now, and it's so reliable. You'll be pleased with Mississippi Energy Services. Online at msenergy.us.
When you feel like your business is drowning in paperwork and compliance issues, it's time to call People Lease. Let People Lease take care of the busy work so that you can save valuable time and focus on what really matters, growing your business. People Lease is based in Ridgeland, so you're always dealing with local professionals who will actually understand your business and its needs. Join thousands of satisfied clients who trust People Lease to simplify their employee administration. Visit peoplelease.com. That's peoplelease.com to learn more.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. Hope everybody's Monday is off to a great start. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And as always, you can call in, share your thoughts, opinions, comments, 601-879-0002. We also have a text line, 601-879-4648. I want to take just a moment and lift up a family right here in the central Mississippi area. A young boy lost his life yesterday. His family, a big part of our MPVR, Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights family, who was there in the very beginning fighting for religious medical freedom for all families across the state. This was very unexpected, very tragic, and my heart absolutely bleeds for this mama and this entire family. So lifting them up and praying for a peace that passes all understanding, the kind of peace that only our Lord and Savior can bring. I hope that this mom feels loved and wrapped in the arms of Jesus today as she begins to make the arrangements that no mom should ever have to make. And so I encourage and invite all of you to please lift up the Lambert family. His name was Noah. I also have a Noah. So hug your babies. Hug your babies tight because you never know. You just never know. I know I held on to mine just a little bit longer last night and this morning after hearing that devastating and heartbreaking, tragic news out of Rankin County. Many, 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 many prayers being lifted up for them. Sorry, hard to really transition into anything after talking about that, but we have been talking about the political violence, the political unrest, the things that we are seeing play out across our country today. I think in large part, it's great that we have social media and so many outlets, so many ways that people like myself can talk about the news and tell you what's going on from different perspectives rather than many years ago, really not that many years ago, just a few years ago, it seems there were 3 news channels, and whatever those news channels told you, you just believed because you didn't have another way to get the news. That's not the case today, but what that also has brought is a way for these extremist groups to get their message out. I know I've talked at length about the Southern Poverty Law Center, but I think it's relevant here. It's completely and totally relevant when we talk about the situation that took place at the White House Correspondents' Dinner this past Saturday night. I may have talked about this for several days on the show, but I've lived it. I've lived the hate that it's brought not only to me and my family, but to my friends, so many of my friends across the country for the last 3 years now. Our organization sent an email out Sunday morning that was written by our CEO, our co-founder, Tina Deskovich, that said the cost of a label. She wrote this: as we woke up this morning to news that once again, a radical lunatic stormed an event intending to kill the President of the United States and his cabinet, with hundreds of people in the room at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, many are asking why. The answer is very simple: the power of labels. This tactic of assigning labels such as fascist, Hitler, or even hate group has been used for years to silence, shame, alienate, and punish. Take, for example, the news story that broke this week. The Southern Poverty Law Center was indicted on 11 counts for wire and bank fraud, among other things. But the real lasting damage they have caused has a much broader and deadly impact. Let me explain from firsthand experience the power labels have on ordinary people. Over the last 3 years, the SPLC has caused extensive, tangible, and measurable harm to Moms for Liberty and to the thousands of moms, dads, grandparents, and community leaders who have stood courageously with us. When the news broke of multiple legal indictments connected to the SPLC this past week, journalists have repeatedly asked me the same question: how did they harm you and Moms for Liberty? My honest answer is this: they use the power of a label to the fullest extent possible. For 3 years, we have lived under the shadow of labels the SPLC and others have assigned to our organization. They have labeled us anti-government, extremists, fascists, bigots, hateful, and more. Those labels cause actual damage. And it wasn't just me. It was every chapter chair, vice chair, secretary, member, and candidates we endorsed. It was every parent who simply stood up and spoke truth in their community. The Southern Poverty Law Center labeled Charlie Kirk and added him to their hate map very shortly before his assassination. America needs to know that labels matter. A label may seem like just a word, but when it comes from an organization with financial means and historical impact like the SPLC, words carry power, influence, and political reach. They use these labels as weapons, and these weapons have real consequences. I could share thousands of heartbreaking stories, court records showing these labels being used as weapons against Moms for Liberty mothers in custody battles, mothers facing threats to their professional licenses with complaints filed against them that they belong to the SPLC identified hate group, members that have lost careers, jobs, positions, and more. Our members have lost friendships, family, and opportunities. Sometimes, in my case, you even have cops that show up at your door because a teacher at your kid's school doesn't like your political views. Chapters have been denied meeting spaces, community event participation, and have been doxxed, harassed, bullied, and threatened. Our organization has endured expensive and repeated international cyber attacks. All of this because the SPLC used its platform to try to define who we are, and too many people believed them. Moms for Liberty chapters and other parental rights groups make up over half of the Southern Poverty Law Center's hate map. Sorry, they are doing a test on the radio stream, so we will cut to break as soon as this ends, and we will be right back.
1039 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
ABC News, I'm Mike Tabusky. We're expecting to hear more this afternoon about that scary incident at this weekend's White House Correspondents' Dinner, where a gunman identified as Cole Allen allegedly rushed past security near where the event was taking place. Intelligence officials, including Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche and FBI Director Kash Patel, are expected to speak. Meanwhile, peace negotiations between the U.S. and Iran are at a standstill, with planned in-person talks this past weekend canceled by President Trump. ABC's Martha Raddatz.
We canceled the trip. We have all the cards. President Trump has repeatedly claimed Iran wants to negotiate again since the last round ended in failure. But the regime has never publicly said there would be a direct meeting with the U.S. Over the weekend, the president calling off his Mideast envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner, who were set to travel to Pakistan.
And Chicago and St. Louis are among the cities at an enhanced risk of severe storms today. This is ABC News.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in and experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Line Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
When it's time to get serious about work-ready equipment, come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. From rugged Big Tex trailers to durable CM and Legend X truck beds, H&H has what your truck needs to work harder and last longer. For the field, H&H carries reliable ag equipment from Salford, New Leader, and Chandler. Visit H&H Chief Sales in Carthage today or anytime at hhchiefsales.com. H&H, quality equipment, knowledgeable service, and solutions that work as hard as you do.
Here's what they're saying about Corcoran Door Company.
I'm going to yell out to one of your sponsors here, Corcoran Door. When the guy came out here, instead of just trying to throw a door up, he was looking at the way the house was facing. Man, with this double garage here on the south side, you might want to consider a insulated door. I came in earlier today about 2:30. The car thermometer said 99 degrees. The thermometer inside the garage was 82.
That's why they've been around 50 years.
Yeah.
CorcoranDoor.com. CORKERN door.com.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, experience counts, and the Rusty Healy Agency has been serving Madison and the rest of the Jackson Metro for over 35 years. Local agent Landon Thompson is keeping that trusted tradition going strong. As a local independent agent, he's not locked into one provider. The Rusty Healy Agency can shop the top insurance companies to find the best fit for you. And everyone knows that the Rusty Healy Agency and Landon Thompson offer top quality local customer service. Contact Landon today at 601-856-3681. All in
America, dreaming in red, white, and blue.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Of course, you can find us on your radio at 103.9 or stream the audio version of any show here at WIB on WIAB.com. Exciting shows coming up over the next couple of weeks. We will have in studio with us tomorrow Ag Commissioner Andy Gibson. He's also thrown his name out there, officially declaring his run for governor of Mississippi. We will have State Auditor Shad White with us on Friday, at least for the second half of the show. Next week on the 6th, I believe that's next Thursday, we will have Secretary of State Michael Watson in the studio with us for the entire hour. So really excited about getting to chat with those guys and see what they think about this past legislative session, the things that we got done, the things that we should have gotten done. I'd also love to hear their thoughts on the news that broke from Tate Reeves this past Friday. We're going to get to that in just a second. Sorry for that abrupt end to the last segment. They always seem to want to throw those tests out there during my Monday show, it seems. That's their new time to run the test. But I was breaking down this email that was sent out by my organization, Moms for Liberty, yesterday morning, talking about labels and how they can hurt. It can become a violent issue when people continue to label certain people or groups and use terms like Hitler, fascist, extremist, hate groups. But truth always has a way of breaking through the lies. Our CEO, Tina, wrote, "The attacks on our organization have continued over the last 3 years. I have no idea if the SPLC and others will be held legally accountable for the harm they have caused, but I do know that America deserves justice. I also know that we can overcome labels and hate if we choose goodness, if we choose truth, and if we choose humanity." And those are the things we should all be choosing. Here at the Lindsey Beckham Show, we believe in protecting children, empowering parents, and standing for truth every single time. I promise you, if there's something you hear me say from behind this microphone, it's something I have vetted. Obviously, I give my opinions on topics. I'm quite opinionated. I don't think you can do this job without being opinionated. But if I tell you about something, it's because I know it to be fact. We did see our governor speak out Friday afternoon, which is unusual, and he made that claim in his post. He is wanting to call a special session when it comes to how our district maps and lines are drawn. He said, during the recently completed regular session, the legislature discussed drawing new maps to comply with a decision from a federal judge from the Northern District of Mississippi, a decision that has been appealed to the Fifth Circuit, and the appeal has been heretofore stayed pending future U.S. Supreme Court decisions. He said it is his belief, and federal law requires that the Mississippi legislature be given the first opportunity to draw these maps, and the fact is, they haven't had a fair opportunity to do that because of the pending decision. For those reasons, I am using my constitutional authority to allow the Mississippi legislature to use their constitutionally recognized right to draw these maps once the new rules of the game are known following the Supreme Court decision. It is my sincere hope that the U.S. Supreme Court will reaffirmed the animating principle that all Americans are created equal and that when the government classifies its citizens on the basis of race, even as a perceived remedy to right a wrong, it engages in the offensive and demeaning assumption that Americans of a particular race, because of their race, think alike and share the same interests and preferences, a concept that is odious to a free people whose institutions are founded upon the doctrine of equality. He says this special session will take place on the calendar day that falls 21 days after we get the Supreme Court decision on these issues. We're seeing the same thing happen in Florida. I was listening to a press conference that was held by Governor DeSantis on my way into the studio today. And then, of course, this morning, I don't know if you've seen, it's breaking news. The Supreme Court has overturned the lower court's decision when it comes to Texas and their maps and redistricting. And what Governor Reeves is alluding to there is that throughout history, our maps have been drawn in a way, basically, when you look at, and for example, when you look at Benny Thompson's district, District 2, Congressional District 2, it is drawn in such a way that it would be extremely hard for any Republican to ever come in and win that congressional seat. Personally, I don't believe race should have anything to do with the way our maps are drawn. I had no idea until I even was pretty involved in politics what a BVAP was. But why are we looking at a BVAP? By the way, that's the percentage of Black voters within a district. Why are we looking at the BVAP to draw lines when it comes to our districts within the state of Mississippi? Why is any state doing that? I get that there were laws back in the day to put Black voters on an even playing field, but this is 2026. Black people can register to vote and vote just like any white person can. So why are we looking at who is a certain color in order to draw these district lines? That, in and of itself, is racial gerrymandering. And I think it's wrong. I think our districts the lines should be drawn going by how many people are in each district and where it makes the most sense to draw those lines. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or Black or white or red or yellow or gray or blue, I don't think that should matter whatsoever when it comes to how these lines are drawn. Not only can that be used in a racial way, but then you have a lieutenant governor like Delbert Hosemann who can take that and use it and make sure he can draw a certain senator out of her district. See, Melanie Sojourner from several years ago. It makes no sense to me. So I completely agree with the Supreme Court ruling here, given the Texas situation. And I don't know, I mean, maybe we've opened up a can of worms here because we've seen what just took place in Virginia. Now Mississippi, Florida are calling special sessions to redraw their maps. I don't know. But I'm 1,000,000% completely against drawing these districts in order to give a certain race the upper hand. And by the way, that in and of itself is racist. that in and of itself is racist. If you draw a line to make a certain group of people more prevalent within that district line, that's racist. How is it not? I'm just so sick of everybody looking at the color of skin to decide how we are going to proceed. We all bleed red. We are all Americans. We were all born in the image of God. Why does it matter what color you are when it comes to how district lines are drawn? Why? Why? It makes no sense. I've never understood why Benny Thompson's district is drawn the way that it is, from the top of the state to the bottom, just about. I've never understood that. But I guess now it makes a lot more sense. It's drawn that way on purpose, to keep at least one Democrat congressman in the state. But I also don't think it's right to draw lines in a way that the BVAP is higher in certain areas because you believe that's going to give you a Democrat candidate, because not all Black people are Democrats. Not all white people are Republicans. And that mindset, to me, in and of itself, just seems like a racist concept. So it will be very interesting to watch this unfold and see how these special sessions go, what these new lines will look like once they're drawn, and how this will play out, especially when it comes to the midterms. Obviously, both sides have an agenda, both sides have a plan, both sides have an idea of what they want this to look like, how they can get the most Republicans in there or the most Democrats in there. Personally, I think everyone has the ability to register to vote. Everyone has the ability to vote on Election Day. And lines shouldn't be drawn based on whether you're Black or white. That, to me, is a very old school way of thinking, and it needs to go. We got to take our last break of the day. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here to wrap things up on this Monday afternoon here on the Lindsey Beckham Show. Don't go anywhere. Afternoon here on the Lindsey Beckham Show. Don't go anywhere.
1039 WYAB. At Bank of Yazoo, we believe that common sense makes for better banking. That's why we've taken our array of checking accounts and simplified them for you, boiling down features and benefits to create our New You, Achieve You, Benefit You, and Protect You checking accounts. Ready to discover how simple is better? Talk with us today. Bank of Yazoo, Bank of You. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
When pain or injury slows you down, relief is closer than you think. At Hometown Medical, we now carry professional-grade orthopedic gel wraps. Our wraps give you 360 degrees hot or cold compression therapy. We also carry Actimove braces made with CoolMax Air technology. From light slide-on supports to hinge wraparound knee braces, we've got brace options for ankles, knees, backs, shoulders, and wrists. Hometown Medical has you covered with our gel wraps and braces. Discover the relief you deserve.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Hey, this is Ben Ingram from the Braves Radio Network. We're in commercial right now, so I want to let my sister take over and tell you about Hometown Property Group.
Thanks, Ben. This is Mary Claire Putman with Hometown Property Group. Whether you're buying or selling, we are committed to guiding you through your real estate transaction with integrity, exceptional service, and remarkable results. Madison County has been my home for 40 years. I'd love to help make it yours too.
That's Hometown Property Group. Give them a call at 601-853-6080.
At Center for Orthodontics, we believe in family, tradition, and community. From kids to adults, Sandifer offers state-of-the-art orthodontic care with complimentary consultations, so everyone in the family can smile with confidence. Sandifer Orthodontics proudly supports Tri-County Academy and the Building on Tradition campaign, so a short drive to local businesses like Sandifer helps TCA thrive. Begin the journey to a beautiful smile at sandiferortho.com. Sandifer Orthodontics, Highland Village, Jackson, and Gateway Drive in Brandon.
Your pool should be something you enjoy, not something you fight with. Hi, I'm Darren with Elite Pools. At Elite Pools, we do more than just service. We take care of everything your pool needs, from your routine maintenance to your full repairs, upgrades, and even complete transformations. If your pool needs a little attention or a fresh start, then Elite Pools can bring it back to life. Visit Elite Pools online at elitepoolsms.com. That's elitepoolsms.com. Or give us a call. At Elite Pools, we keep you swimming.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. Windshield repair, replacement of shower doors, mirrors, and everything in between. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
Now is the time to turn over a new leaf and shower yourself with savings at Mazda of Jackson. Mazda of Jackson has rates as low as 0.9% on select models, or spring into savings with up to $3,000 in customer cash with approved credit. Get to Mazda Jackson today, where certified pre-owned vehicles and hassle-free trade-in options are also available. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
Coming up.
Welcome back in for the last few moments of the Lindsey Beckham Show today. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. We were talking about the redistricting maps and the Supreme Court ruling when it comes to Texas and what that means for other states, especially those like Mississippi and Florida who have already called special sessions. Unknown texter says, "Amen, this country needs Jesus." Unknown texter says, "White racist politicians used to do that a long time ago. They started this and made the whole thing up back in the Ross Barnett days." I agree. I think that was something that happened many moons ago that we should be far away from by now in present day time. Again, everybody can go register to vote. And everybody can go vote. It does not matter what color you are. So why district lines would ever be drawn in this day and time based on the Black voting population in said district is just completely and totally beyond me. We do have space here on the Lindsey Beckham Show. If you would like to advertise with us, we would love to partner with you and help get your business name out there. You can find more information about that by emailing info@wyab.com, or you can email me personally. It's lindsay@wyab.com. That's Lindsay with an E, like Jameson Haygood would always say. You got to get the name right so that I get the email. But we would love to have you partner with us here at WYAB. Again, lots of exciting shows coming up. We will have Ag Commissioner and gubernatorial, I never say that word right, candidate Andy Gibson here with us tomorrow. Friday, we will have State Auditor Shad White with us. I believe he and I will probably be breaking down more of the Southern Poverty Law Center. Y'all know I'm going to bang that drum as long as I can, so don't miss that. Next week, we will have Michael Watson, I believe, next Thursday on the 6th. So y'all stay tuned. Lots of good things coming up on the Lindsey Beckham Show. That is all the time we have for today. I'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. See you then.